Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Tesla, and we have been following this 1 2 1 2 setup, and yeah, this is actually where the point of debate starts, because we have been tracking whether this wave 2 completed down here with the first touch of the support zone, or if we are still in this wave 2, and that would be more of a follow-up of the red scenario. We are really tracking two scenarios in this case, in this time frame, and that would be a wave A down, a wave B up, and now the C wave to the downside, where we already completed the wave 1. The wave 2, it's not clear, but realistically we could have already started the third wave to the downside. And yeah, on the other side we have the white scenario where we completed the wave 2, and now in a diagonal pattern we are going higher in the third wave to the upside, where we could have completed a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and in this third wave a wave A up, a B wave down, and now we could be on our way to complete this C wave, to complete this third wave, and yet this might be another wave 1 of the very large third wave. It wouldn't necessarily look like something that would be appropriate for a third wave after that would follow up this wave 1 and the 2, but it could start a larger trend to the upside overall. So going now into the shorter time frame, we are looking here and have been tracking this possible 1-2 setup, and 2 videos ago I actually provided you the support zone, this support zone between these levels, and for 1-2 setup, so for another 1-2 setup. And then in the previous video that worked out. We reacted very nicely to the 78.6% retracement, and then in the previous video I provided you another 1-2 setup after we topped in this region, and now, well, I provided you another support zone for that as well, but again we formed another 1-2 setup, and yeah, we are already at the fourth 1-2 setup, like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And if you notice, we may actually be having something actually different here, and that could play out in 2 ways. Firstly, we could have our wave 1 up here, and then now we have a wave A down, and then in a triangle, in a B wave triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and now we would head lower in the C wave to the downside. Now an ideal target for that C wave would be, well, in this case I wouldn't expect necessarily the 100% extension. That is the ideal target, but realistically between the 61.8% extension and down to the 78.6%, so between $263.5 down to around 241, those would be the targets I would be looking for a low. But yeah, keep in mind, it doesn't need to get there, it doesn't need to stop there. We could realistically break the support zone and go to the next support zone that is in white here, that could still prove relevant. But that's one of the ways it could play out, because another possibility would be that this is instead an A wave, and then we have in a B wave triangle A, B, C, D, E, and the triangles break out in the opposite side of where the triangle ends, and that would be to the upside in this case. And then we would have in our C wave our first 1-2 setup here, instead of having a series of 4 1-2 setups. And now I'm not saying it's impossible that we do actually have a series of 4 1-2 setups. I'm saying it's becoming a bit unrealistic with the latest edition of the fourth. And the fact is, usually when so many 1-2 setups appear, they usually tend not to play out, especially in a contracting pattern such as this. And yeah, I could maybe draw some trend lines in this area, maybe on the 4 hour it would be easier. But yeah, overall I would be very careful. I could easily see direct upside, but if I don't see a clear and strong break to the upside, even if we break this trend line from this point, I really need to see an impulse to the upside to follow up on the series of 1-2 setups. Otherwise, I will rather prefer the interpretation that we had directly lower, and yeah, there's nothing to do about that. To be honest, it is still possible that we just reset this B wave with a C wave move to the upside. Very realistic interpretation, and maybe my second preference, over the series of 1-2 setups, even at this point, I do prefer either that we form a larger A, B, C, where we find another support where we reset this wave 2 in white, or I would next, or in the same level of probability, I would expect a larger A, A, B, C, where we move and reset the wave 2 in red. If you notice, the market is still very undecided. We came down after the larger A wave and reacted to the 61.8% retracement as a support. Then we pushed higher. We reacted to the 61.8% as resistance. And in both cases, we reacted and pushed in the opposite direction. The market is very undecided. It is very unclear. The sentiment is not telling us clearly what is going to happen, but you do have some expectations. I will give you even the support zone for the last 1-2 setup. But if this doesn't turn out into a real third wave, I want you to be really careful about this setup, because yeah, in the worst case, I need a 1, 2, 3 here to see another fourth and the fifth in the upside. And then of course we need to be mindful that we could have completed this wave 2, we go lower, but then we can track higher. If we don't push now impulsively to the upside, I am preferring more downside, again, even if we break the trend line. So these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover. For now, that is it, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.